Hello guys. Welcome to the story world. We are to serve you best stories, but we need your help to complete our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So find the subscribe button and please click on it. Let's jumping into story. Morning broke over the island in a wash of pale gold, but there was no warmth in the light. The group stood around the strange footprints, staring at them as though willing them to disappear. They hadn't imagined the creature. It was real. It had walked among them while they slept, and it could come again. Nobody spoke for a long time. Even the usual sounds of the island, waves lapping at the shore, birds calling in the distance, felt subdued, as if the whole place was holding its breath. Lucas finally knelt beside the prince, touching one lightly. The shape was long and skeletal, 3 toes tipped with hooked claws that had dug deep into the sand. "These aren't just tracks," he muttered, glancing around their camp. "It circled us, like it was claiming territory or marking us." Emily shuddered violently. "Claiming us? Lucas, what the hell are you even saying?" Ryan's eyes darted to the jungle, the trees swaying gently in the morning breeze. He couldn't shake the feeling of eyes on him, even now, even in daylight. "We can't stay here," Noah said flatly. "It knows where we are. It can come and go whenever it wants. We're basically inviting it to kill us." "Then where do we go?" Jake snapped, fear sharpening his tone. "The jungle's worse. That thing lives in there. We'll be running right into its home." Lucas stood, rubbing his face. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, his usual confidence cracking. "If we stay on the beach, we're sitting ducks. If we go inland, maybe, we find higher ground, see if there's any sign of other people, or a way to make a signal fire bigger, maybe even a safe spot to camp." Sarah glanced at the ocean, empty as far as the eye could see. "What about staying close to the yacht?" she asked softly. "At least the water feels safer." Ryan shook his head. "We barely have any fuel left to power it, remember? We can't outrun this thing, even if it shows up in the water. And what if there's more than one?" That thought made everyone fall silent. In the end, they made a choice. Not because they wanted to, but because doing nothing felt worse. They would pack up what little they had and move inland, hoping to find some kind of shelter, or signs of rescue, or anything that might help them survive longer than one more night. They gathered their meager supplies, leaving the circle of prints behind like a bad dream they couldn't wake from, and began their trek into the jungle. The further they went, the more oppressive the jungle became. Vines hung low, branches knotted into impossible shapes, and the light dimmed despite the bright sun overhead. The air was hot and damp, heavy with the scent of wet soil and rotting vegetation. Every step felt like trespassing. Ryan's nerves screamed with each rustle of leaves, each distant sound of movement. At one point, they heard a low, guttural cry far off, not quite animal, not quite human, and everyone froze until the sound faded. Around midday, they stumbled upon something unexpected, a torn, weather-beaten backpack, half buried under a tangle of ferns. Mia crouched and pulled it free, brushing off dirt. It was old, straps frayed, a faded logo barely visible. She opened it slowly, revealing a water-damaged notebook, a rusted pocket knife, and a single torn sneaker that looked like it had been chewed. "This doesn't make sense," Sarah whispered, eyes wide. "We're the only people here, right?" Ryan took the notebook gently. The pages were warped and smeared, most words unreadable, but a few sentences remained. "Day 7. Still no way off. The thing comes closer each night. It doesn't like fire, but it's not afraid of us anymore. If anyone finds this, run." Ryan's blood ran cold. He looked up at the others, the terror on their faces mirroring his own. "We're not the first ones here," he said quietly, "and whoever was, didn't make it." They pushed on, the weight of the discovery settling over them like a curse. Each broken branch, each unnatural marking on the trees felt like evidence of failed escapes, of lives swallowed by the island's dark secrets. Late afternoon brought them to another clearing, eerily similar to the one they had found yesterday, but this one was worse. The first thing they noticed was the smell, rancid and metallic, like blood and decay lingering in the humid air. At the center of the clearing lay what remained of a campsite, long abandoned, but unlike the first one, this wasn't just empty. Bones littered the ground, human bones. Some were scattered, gnawed and broken, others stacked into strange, deliberate patterns. Skulls sat in a circle around a crude stone altar covered in dark stains that hadn't faded with time. Above, more bones hung from the trees, swaying slightly in the wind, clicking softly against each other like macabre chimes. Emily gagged, turning away. Sarah stumbled back, clutching her mouth, tears streaming down her face. "Oh my God." Noah breathed, pale as a ghost. They didn't just die here, they were hunted. Ryan's hands shook as he held on to Mia's shoulder. His mind raced with questions he didn't want answers to. What kind of creature did this? Was it one thing or many? And worse, what if it didn't just kill to eat? What if it enjoyed this? Lucas forced himself to move closer, scanning the grisly scene. His voice was barely a whisper. This was a group, like us. Maybe a shipwreck, maybe a crash, and whatever lives here. He swallowed hard. It killed them all. The group stood frozen, horror rooting them to the spot. Then a sound broke the silence, a low, drawn-out clicking from the jungle beyond the clearing. It was close, too close. Ryan's chest tightened. He could almost feel those glowing eyes watching from the shadows. "We have to go," he hissed. "Now." They didn't argue, they bolted, stumbling over roots and rocks driven by pure terror. Branches whipped their arms, thorns scratched their legs, but none of it mattered. The clicking followed, growing louder, closer, until it felt like the creature was right behind them. Only when they burst into another patch of sunlight did the sound fade, as if the creature had stopped just beyond the line of trees, letting them run, letting them think they were safe. Breathless and trembling, the group collapsed against a rocky outcrop overlooking a steep ravine. The jungle seemed quieter here, though the sense of danger never left. Emily clutched Ryan's arm, her voice barely holding together. "We're gonna die here, aren't we?" "No," Lucas said, forcing confidence he didn't feel. "We're not. We just have to think, keep moving. We can outlast this thing." "Outlast it?" Jake snapped, his voice breaking. "Did you see that clearing? Did you see what it did to them? We're not outlasting anything. We're next." Nobody could argue with him. Ryan stared out over the ravine, heart hammering. They were lost, hunted, exhausted, and the island was nothing but a graveyard waiting to claim them. But one thought burned in his mind, stronger than the fear. If there were other people here, there might still be a way off this island. He turned back to the group. "We can't stop, we have to keep looking. There's got to be something left behind. A radio, a boat, something." Lucas nodded slowly, clinging to the sliver of hope. "We keep moving tomorrow. We find higher ground. We search for anything that helps us survive." Mia's voice was small, shaky. "And if we find nothing?" Ryan hesitated, glancing toward the dark jungle. The faint sound of clicking drifted through the trees, distant but ever present. "Then," he said grimly, "we find a way to kill it before it kills us." Thanks for listening. Hit the like button if you really like this story, and don't forget to subscribe.